Next, we present PG6, which in this case denotes one solitary individual, Pat Gubler here, but in other instances you may find it means an entire rock band or maybe something else entirely. Be that as it may, we're very grateful to Pat for representing the brand today and sharing with us the enchanting sounds of PG6.
I have known love, and at times it was a simple love, gentle and kind, with murmurs and whispers as we drift asleep. There is no fight left in me now. There is no fight left in me now. I have known love, and at times it shook me to the core, tender yet cruel, consuming and desperate as the night burns on. There is no fight left in me now. There is no fight left in me now. And at times it was a grieving love. Come to me now and cling to me tightly as the end draws near. There is no fight left in me now. No fight left in me now.
So, Pat, thank you very much for playing those two very, very lovely numbers. For my first question, I'll have to read from my card to quote some interviews, but I think most people that know you, including me, would describe you as fairly unflappable, even-tempered. And I think people would say that nature is probably reflected in your music a little bit. What I am reading is that critics have used adjectives such as restrained, poised, unforced, and hushed to describe your sound. So, in order to present our viewers with something exclusive, I would like to request that you give us your very loudest primal scream.
Primal scream.
Yes.
I'm a little under the weather.
No, and there are no primal screams are not preceded by excuses. Okay, I'll count to 3 to give you some build up. Your loudest primal scream. Okay. Okay. Sound lady, you ready? 1, 2, 3. Ah! Thank you. So we played the harp on your first song very beautifully. And I know that on your 2006 record, which was called Music from the Sherman Bach Series, you featured, I think, 3 harp instrumentals at least. Mm-hmm. And those were described. I do not have that record, unfortunately, but I read about it.
I'll find one.
Thank you. That featured the wire-strung harp and the Bray harp. Mm-hmm. And I was curious if you could describe those harp variations.
Well, those they're based on sort of early music designs. Like the wire-strung harp is strung in, the material is like I think it's phosphor bronze, and it has kind of a very sustainy sort of hammered dulcimer like sound. Mm-hmm. The Bray harp is it's called that because there's these pins that are they have 2 functions. Like they hold the string into the sound box, but they also they're meant to sort of twist, and there's a section that touches the string kind of in the manner of like a sitar bridge, and it causes it to buzz.
I see. So it gives a unique sound.
Yeah.
And how are those, as far as playability compared to the one you're playing, how do they compare as far as playability? Or
they're pretty different. I mean, the wire strung one, because it will really the open strings will sustain. I mean, you can create quite a wash, or you try to damp the strings if you're playing like a melodic kind of thing. Mm-hmm. They're both much smaller than this one. Mm-hmm. They're kind of lap size harps.
Now, I would describe you in my own vocabulary as a master musician, which would be, I think that the factors that caused me to say that would be the combination of the control that you have when you're playing, combined with sort of the conceptual and improvisational ability that works very well, of course, with that control. And as a person who is something of a musician with a far different set of abilities, I kind of marvel at this. I do marvel at it. And I wondered, out of curiosity, at what age did you first realize that you had a particular ability, a particular nature that led you to be able to do what you do now?
Well, I mean, I started playing music. I started like improvising, I think, on piano when I was like maybe 12 years old. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I don't.
And you enjoyed it.
I just enjoy. Like I would kind of go into a weird zone.
Yeah.
Stayed there.
Now, most people who know your music, including many critics who've written about it, point out what is obvious to anybody who hears a variety of it, that you have 2 significant strains represented in your music. That would be traditional folk music, particularly of the English tradition, as carried through since its inception through your influences, and then also minimalist or drone, other types of contemporary musical approaches that sometimes blend with or are presented separately from the folk tradition that you investigate. What I was curious about is, again, going back to your youth, in what musical examples first excited you in each of those categories such that you knew you wanted to continue with them?
I guess I'd been exposed to a little bit of like Irish folk music, you know, because my
At home?
my family, you know, that's one of our backgrounds a little bit. As far as like the minimalist stuff, you know, I probably was exposed to that more just through like film soundtracks and
So it wasn't
like
a
I didn't
particular
really
composer.
know what
It
it
was a kind of a thing that you related to when you heard it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I also found out that you were born in the Bronx, and of all of our shared musical circle, there are very few, I think, that are native New York City people. And yet, I think if one listened to most of your oeuvre, you would hardly think, the Bronx. Now, I know, of course, you went to SUNY Purchase, you were in a band in Portchester, and today you live in Brooklyn. But still looking, where would we find the Bronx in your recorded work today?
In my recorded work,
How could we tell? Well, I couldn't, but do you think there's any influence that may be detected from your...
I'm not sure. And plus, we moved when I was 8 years old, to upstate New York. But the only thing I can think of is that I used to not be able to fall asleep because it was too quiet in the country.
So that kept you active, and mentally active.
I have no idea.
Your head, I think it kept your wheels spinning upstairs, and that was the result. I was also interested to note that you have studied with Robin Williams of the Incredible String Band. And I don't know to what extent you did. This is something you hadn't discussed with me before. Can you tell us a little bit about the circumstances of that and what you learned?
Well, I had a few harp lessons from him because he when he lived in California, he would live half the year in California and half the year in the UK. He used to tour the U.S. a lot more, and he became friendly with someone I know. And she would put on a concert in upstate New York, and they got to become friends. So he would kind of tack on like maybe a couple of days just hanging out, and he might add like a house concert and some lessons, you know, for people. So that was really great to be able to.
Was he in the band on all of their albums during their initial phase, or what was his tenure?
Yeah, he was there from the beginning, to the end. Yeah.
You frequently play now with PG6 as a band, involving again people that we share in common musical associations with. You have Bob Bannister on guitar, Robert Dennis on drums, Debbie Schwartz on bass, and of course Bannister on guitar is a slightly different take maybe than you've had before in a sort of a twin guitar attack.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy it?
It's it's super fun to to play with all those guys, but you know, like it's great having the dual guitar stuff going on.
Yeah. Well, that's all I have to ask. An exciting moment
It's
in
a
any
tough
program.
crowd.